Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are here. We're back with our next series, with our next matchup, with the quarterfinals, with our ZvT. We've been following Rogue here as he just took down Nickrat, and now he's up against Cure in the next round. Here we go. We're here in the quarterfinals, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into RTVZ. Coming into this, I mean, I can see this going either way. Did mention previously that Rogue is known for rushing into lurkers, but we didn't actually see that against Nickrat. We'll see if we indulge into that against Cure instead. Again, Rogue likewise has been looking very impressive over the past couple of weeks. I know that he did have a big rise in popularity back during Star Zagora last year, and then it kind of submerged a little bit. Then there was a bit of a slump, or if not, just a bit of a step back from the game. Rogue has been less active throughout the course of December and January, but now has been playing in more open cups. Great to see. Rogue, he often doesn't play in open cups, mainly only playing in the Lima League or maybe like a KSL here or there, but this week he played in ZvT Monday and also in the PiGosaur Monday as well. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, Rogue, he has been more active in these open cups over the past week. Great to see. Great to see here. Great to see Rogue being more active and potentially looking to take the mantle of Dark when it comes to the best Zerg player in South Korea. Right now there is competition for that though, and again, I did mention previously that Solar did have a surprising result last night as well by taking down Clem, but I imagine a part of that is also maybe the new map pool as well, the new TLMC maps. That could also be a factor. We'll see. We shall see. So far we are moving in. Cure going for a standard opener himself, just going for a max expand. Likewise, Hatch gas pool out of Rogue. Never played StarCraft, but I love your casting. Oh, thank you, Pappy, thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Ah. I mean, you're in good company. I mean, StarCraft nowadays is more of a spectator sport. Like, a lot of people don't play the game. Most people watch the game nowadays just because it can be very stressful, very intense, and it can be very difficult to maintain skill as well in StarCraft. So it's all good. The issue at times comes when people are very opinionated about the game while also still not playing the game. It's like, that's Reddit in a nutshell. That's Reddit for you. Aye. But thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Glad you enjoy StarCraft. Glad you enjoy the stream. As from here, we are going to be settling in. For now, standard openers. We'll keep an eye on Cure. He does go 3CC into Banshee, so very standard setup here. Again, Cure, he doesn't really want to deviate too much. He doesn't really want to mix things up too hard. Just getting to his own standard follow-up. Into Hellion, into Banshee, to harass across the map to maintain control and to maintain eyes on Rogue. We'll see if Rogue can keep up. See if he can keep up. Ling does slip in, gets a full scout, confirms the 1-1-1, gets behind the middle line. I mean, after what just happened against Nickrat, he's a little bit paranoid here about BCs. For those that weren't here previously, Rogue, he did drop a map to Nickrat as he was caught off guard by 2-port BC production, but here we see that it is going to be Banshee play. So standard stuff here out of Cure, and Rogue confirms. Behind this, Rogue going double Evo Chamber, so a little bit of a greedier build here by Rogue, going double Evo Chamber into double upgrades before Lair, before Tech, before Bathing Speed. The downside is that Bathing Speed is going to be more delayed. The upside is he is prioritizing and embracing those upgrades a lot faster. So it is a greedy style here from Rogue. We'll see if he can get away with it. Likewise, Cure back at home, just getting his third base. Has yet to really be active with a Hellion Banshee yet, as he actually did cut Hellion production a little bit earlier. He got up to 6 Hellions. 6 Hellions, then straight into bio production, into his own double E base, into his own bio. Here we go. Advances a poke in so far, getting a couple of drone kills, getting what, three drones so far. King 3 up to 4. Pretty good damage. Again, the Spore was unfortunately unburrowed at the time. Gets up to 5 drones. And we're not done by the... Oh my god. This is getting a little bit out of hand. What's important here is the Banshees, they survive. They survive. They're in the dead space. They get 7 drone kills in total. Very nice damage by Cure. He does keep the Banshees alive. And behind this is building up towards his eventual 7-minute push. Building up Marines, tank production as well. Stim is now done. And Cure, he will soon be pushing as he gets 11 drones. Oh my god. 11 drone kills. Insane. Does dip away. And Cure, he can always come back home and repair. So very efficient trades here from Cure. Gets 11 workers, does race back. Back at home, he's now starting his initial move out. And behind this, Rogue is once again rushing into an early infestation pit. Okay, you have my attention. Now, we saw against Nickrat, once we saw the pit on the way, we assumed it was going to be Lingbane into Ultra. I'm making that same assumption here, where we have no Hydrogen, we have no Spire, we have no any other tech. So in my mind, this must be to get into Ultras. So Lingbane into Ultra here from Rogue. We'll see if he can get there. Here he is commencing his push. Now, I believe the armory is almost done, so we can morph in those Hellbats. This move out's actually hitting a little bit later. We expect to see this hit around 7 minutes. Now we've reached 7:40. Rogue has had time to build up his Lingbane. Remember, his upgrades are done. And Rogue, he does counterattack, does hit the third. SV's going to be falling. Cure, he's out of position. SV's going to be going down. Oh my god, 10 workers do fall. We do have some fire back at him to defend. But Cure, he is distracted. And can he break the 4? Ideally he can, but that's a lot of Queens. That's a lot of Banelings. And Queens, they move in. Banelings, they crash on forward. Take down the first tank. So far, better trade for Cure, but he did lose 11 SCVs back at home. Mining is denied at the 3rd. And Rogue, he's just buying time for more reinforcements, more Lings, more Banelings. Cure still pushing out. Rogue going for another counterattack. Or even a surround. It's going to be close. Banelings, they roll in once again. Up! No managed connections. Lings, they come in from behind. They catch reinforcements. They get on top of a tank. Not bad. Tank goes down. Cure, he stims forward. Does stim forward. Guys diving on the main army. Oh, good. And pushing on the creep here is not going to be easy. The tanks are a little bit too far back. Yeah, tanks are too far back, and Rogue, he does punish the army. Despite that, reinforcements still arriving. Tanks are pushing forward. And Rogue, he's so close, sorry, Cure, he's so close to breaking the expansion, to breaking the hatchery, and he will. Whew. Did break his way through. Getting on top of the hatchery. Banshees, Lackbats coming in from behind. Forcing back the Queens, and the hatchery will fall. So nice pick up here by Cure. And from here, I don't think he should keep going. He could rotate over towards the right hand side instead. But for now, he wants a gold. He may get this base as well. That's still a lot of Lingbane building up for Rogue. But has he bled out too much? Oh my god, the tank boys are brutal. Yeah, he can just keep pushing. He can just keep pushing. He will break the gold. Rogue, he's forced to engage, forced to fight, pushing into tank fire. And Rogue, he will hold on, cleans up every single tank. But last Cure, he's not done. He should be though, as he's overextending. Speaking of extending links, they run into reinforcements, and Cure, he just keeps rallying. Loses another tank. That's 4 tanks going down. But he wants that base. He's not leaving without it. Not leaving without it, and he will get it. Hatchery falls. And with that, Rogue, he just can't keep up. Rogue, he's lost too many expansions. He's losing too much larva. He just cannot keep up production-wise. Ultra production has begun, though. We have 3 Ultras on the way, but they will not have kindness plating. They're going to be lacking upgrades. As they're going to be stuck on 2-2. Here he rotates once again, knocking down another expansion. Now, the plus side here is that Cure, he has no further tech at the moment. He has no ghosts, he has no marauders. This is purely marine tank. Pure marine tank out of Cure. Just now starting up his own marauder production. He scans. May have caught a glimpse there of the Ultra. Yeah, now he has. And now he rotates. Now he does rotate. The goal here would be to apply pressure towards the southern base. And Rogue could stabilize. Rogue is behind. That is true. Rogue is behind. He's down in workers. He's down in bases. He's down in production. Rogue is in a rough position. But at least he has the Ultras. And that might be enough to allow him to double expand. To recover, take the goal base, take the base on the left-hand side. We'll see if it is enough. In. Where's Rogue collapsing on the base? Looks like he's going for the planetary, but he will lose his Ultra though. And the CC lifts. Yeah, CC does lift in time. Ultra does get into the middle line, getting 5 SCVs. This is okay down. It's not worth it. Not worth losing 2 Ultras. 2 Ultras for 5 SCVs. Again, Rogue was hoping for a little bit more. A lot more, actually. And Cure's maxed. Cure, he's maxed out. And again, the win condition typically in this matchup is kill the 4th. And he did. I mean, he didn't just kill the 4th, he killed the gold as well. Killed the 4th and the 5th. Rogue, he does go for another link run by. Cure, forces turn around. Beating out 11 SCVs. He's at 11 workers. Cure, he's looking for a fight. It's going to be delayed. It's very important. Nice arc here from Rogue. And he has how many Ultras? He has 7. 7 Ultras for Rogue. And Cure, he wants none of it. Again, remember, no ghosts. 0 ghosts for Cure. The Ghost Academy just now begins. This is a late reaction here. It seems like Cure, he was hoping to end the game. He was hoping to end the game a lot sooner. He was hoping to end the game with this push, and now he realizes that the Ultra count is too high, and now that's a late realization. And Rogue, he's maxing. Rogue is maxing out. Rogue, he has a comparable army. Rogue can still win this game. He's still in this. Does push forward, catching out some of the bio. Remember, it's a very tanky armor. Oh my god, the railings! Balins, they crash in. And Cure, he's on the run. Yeah, brutal fight for Cure. He will lose a lot of his army. The Marines, the Marauders, they go down. Rogue, he just commits. He just commits across the map, and he can end the game with this push. Cure, he knows he cannot fight this. And again, it was just a really late Ghost Academy, really late switch into Ghost production. Without them, he's struggling. As the planetary goes down, trading a base for a base, we're just going for the base race. Going for the base trade. As Cure does catch reinforcements, Ultras, they actually race back home. Oh no! They race back home. Through the liberation, through the freedom. And remember, the anti-air is limited here. We can pick up, we can just leave. Yeah, we just pick up, we can boost away. No Ultra into the liberation zones once again. And we're still in this game here. Now, Cure, his economy is struggling, right? He's down to 41 SCVs. His economy has been stifled. Meanwhile, Rogue, he has bottom right. He has a fresh expansion getting up and running. Rogue, he can remax. Kira, less so. Kira, he needs that gold. Meanwhile, Ghost Academy's done, and Ghosts are on the way. Now he has snipes. Now suddenly, the army here for Kira is that much better. He's got how many Liberators here? Gee, 7. 7 Liberators, a couple of Ghosts, a couple of Snipes, a heavier Marauder count. Kira's army is much better against Ultra. Much better. But is it enough? Now, Kira has a massive army. I think so. I'll be honest, I think it is enough. But he's forced to split up his army. He's defending back at home. I think in a head-on fight, Kira, he will win this. The Viper may complicate things. As Ling Rumbites continue. Freedom does set up. Fury pulls away. And he's punishing these Ultras. He gets 2 already. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 Ultras going down. And Rogue, he takes a brutal fight. Yeah, not for Rogue. He will lose almost all of his Ultras. That was half his Ultras falling. And Kira's going for the kill. He's going in for the kill. Liberation has arrived, and there's just too much freedom. There's too much freedom. Snipes go off as well. And Kira's done it. He has done it. He takes down the main army. GG gets called, and Cure, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Cure does take a lead in the series, does take the first game. Congratulations here. Again, Cure, he had momentum early on. Now, there was a moment where Rogue was able to max out on Ultra, and Cure, he had yet to transition into those Ghosts. If you remember, we were having almost a base trade where Rogue had taken down the 3rd base, and meanwhile, Cure had taken down the 4th or 5th base of Rogue, where they had trade bases for bases, and then Rogue made the decision to turn around. He did decide to turn back around, whereas I feel like he probably could have kept going to get more critical damage. When he turned around, he didn't really get anything for it. Remember, he turned around and all he did was force Cure to lift up. And Cure, he preserved the army. So in the end, Cure, he did get the better of that base trade. He did get the better of that base race even. And Rogue was all in, the reality there. Rogue, he was pretty committed. He had to end the game then and there. He failed to do so. And then Cure got out of hand. Got out of control. GG. GG, well played. And from here, we are getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2. And do we get to the ace match, or does the series end here and now? As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of El Dorado, we have our South Korean Terran player, our blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. Going to be settling in. We are going to be settling in here, and again, Cure, he does have these brutal 7-minute pushes. I mean, we saw this push for Cure was a little bit later. It was like at 7:30, 7:40, but still did break Rogue nonetheless, and that's what we kind of expect to see here as well. These kind of build up towards these 3-base pushes to break the 4th of the Zerg player. And we'll see how Rogue will adjust, how he will change his approach. Love this game. It's incredible. Wish I could have gone more into it when I was younger. That's fair. That's fair. Fair, Pat, fair. You get a sense of the hype by watching some of the 2012 era tournaments. Yeah, I haven't seen many of those. Again, I didn't get into, like, I got into StarCraft in the beta, but I didn't watch like any events until Heart of the Swarm. I've said this before, but basically I didn't get into watching live esports until Total Biscuit made Axiom, and then I had a reason to. So I would watch GSTL, I would watch GSL, I would watch WCS. Initially introduced by the Axiom players like Crank, like Alicia, Ryung, Hart, Mia, and all the others. That would have been back in 2013. Before that, I would just like watch like casts and VODs of from like Total Biscuits or Husky or HD StarCraft. I also couldn't really watch StarCraft live at the time just because I didn't have the internet for it. Back then I had dial-up. I didn't get like ADSL until maybe like 2014, 2015 is when I got ADSL. Until then, dial-up, baby. Let's go. And even then, the ADSL was very slow in comparison to what we have now. It was like 70 kilobytes per second? No. Like 45 kilobytes per second, something like that. Oh, those are rough times. I would watch Twitch streams on the lowest possible setting on 240p, or I think back then it was like mobile setting or both, or from one to the other, and it would still buffer. But I'd watch it anyway. It's how we enjoyed StarCraft. Meanwhile, 3ECC into Banshee. Oh, my apologies. I assumed it was going to be Banshee, but it's going to be Viking first out of Cure. So Cure, he does mix it up. Meanwhile, we do have a 2-base Muta out of Rogue. Bold move. No third expansion. You can see Cure is looking for it. Now, the reason why you can do this build on this map is because you can hide the lack of third base. Cure, for all he knows, there could have been an expansion here. There could have been a third, but Cure is in the dark. He's in the dark, he doesn't really know what's going on. Now we can see Rogue taking a much later expansion, and it's a big risk here rushing into 2-base Muta. So far, unscouted. So far, is unscouted. As Cure, he hasn't even seen the third. Again, I assume that he's making the assumption that it was taken here towards the south side instead. So Cure's playing the standard, getting into Banshee after the Viking. Yeah, he's Cure, he opens up the southern path. He's making his way over. And Cure, he's about to confirm there is no expansion. Uh-oh, now he knows. Now he sees no base. No expansion on location. He's like, hold on, something's wrong. Something doesn't make sense here. There is no hatchery. What's happening? Well, we know it's Mutas. Back at home, Cure, he's not ready for this. He is not ready. For all Cure knows, this could be a 2-base roach all-in. True, it could be roaches, could be Muta. Those are the two things that come to mind. As Cure rotates once again, and the Mutas, they hit the field. They're making their way across the map. I would love to see a scan out of Cure to figure out what's happening, as he has yet to scan. The Banshee's right outside the main. Hellions, now he rotates, now he confirms. He confirms the expansion, but back at home, turrets are on the way. Yeah, now he knows. Now I realize something is wrong. Turrets are in production. They're finishing up just in time. Oh, but SCVs are getting caught out. Likewise, Hellions, they dive into the mineral line. They commit 11 drone kills. Very nice damage. Getting a little bit. 15. Oh my god. 15 workers go down. No spore in the main. Oh my god. No spore in the main base. Cure, he didn't have turrets, but they're now just finished. Meanwhile, no spores in the main. 20 drone kills, and that one Banshee has 13 kills. 14 kills on the Banshee. Hellions, they roast up the mineral line, and Rogue, sure, the Mutas, they got unscattered. Sure, the Mutas, they get 12 SCVs, but that pales in comparison to the losses that Rogue just sustained. As Cure, he wreaked havoc. It's just too much damage. That's far too much. Remember, Rogue, he already had a late third. He already delayed his economy. He delayed his third base in favor of this build, and it's not worth it. It was not worth it in the end. Does get a couple more SCVs, but Rogue is hurting. Getting a couple more. Okay. Gets 16 SCV kills. That's a full mineral line. Is a full mineral line. And Cure, to make up for that, yeah, goes for the gold. Cure, he goes for the gold base. That will, I mean, Cure's in a better position at this point. So we're even on workers, and Cure has mules, and Cure has a gold base, so Cure, he's ahead economically. Cure is ahead, and the pressure's on Rogue to find more damage. He cannot engage, not into the Widow Mines. Rogue taking another expansion, building up more workers, getting to +2. Oh, stems in, catches the mutas. 3 mutas go down, ay. And Rogue, he's going to +2 air attack. What does that tell us? It tells us he's committing quite hard here into mass muta. Now, the other downside of going mutas, as we're seeing here, is lack of upgrades. Upgrades are heavily delayed because all your gas is being invested into pure muta production. So these are going to be 0-0 Ling Bane for a long time. You're going to be stuck on 0-0 upgrades. Meanwhile, 2 tours on the way for the Terran. Mutas, they bust into main, they find more damage. Okay, 4 more SCVs. It's going to be 20 SCV kills in total. Leads out another muta. Another muta does fall. He rotates over. As we're going to bleed out some more mutas, taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. And the problem here is that this muta cloud, it's getting smaller and smaller. We are making more mutas, but the reality is that this is less threatening, which means there's nothing keeping him back. Ideally, if this was getting more damage, this is keeping Cure contained, but Cure, he's unchained. He's not being contained at all. He does break out, he does push. Back at home, Ling Bane is amassing, and we need more Ling Bane. That's Cure, he's Lunar Snowball out of control. Remember, Rogue is still on 0-0 Ling Bane, 0-0 upgrades. 1-1 is still on the horizon here, +1 melee about to finish up. 2-2 on the horizon for Cure. Mind shot, oh, doesn't quite go off. Widow Mine doesn't connect. Mutas, they are going to be zoned away. Cure does have that supply lead. Upgrades are about to finish. Cure just waiting for his own 2-2. Rogue forcing Cure to respond, forcing him back home. So far, good movement. As Cure, he does miss the mutas. He assumes they went back home. It does miss a rotation. Mutas, they hit the mineral line. Oh, Widow Mines are in position. Turrets are done. And Cure, he ignores it. He just ignores the mutas. He knows they cannot get damage done. He's fine back at home. He's secure. The main base, less so. Main base is vulnerable. But there are reinforcements. Nice repair. And here comes the main army. Cure, ideally, he wants to split. Up, spread. Oh, no. Okay. Whew. Does notice. Does pre-split, thankfully. Bailey's, they crash in, they get some okay connections, but Cure, now he has too much. He has far too much. He breaks through the defensive line, gets off the expansion. Mutas are across the map, they're doing some damage, but the bases are falling. The mineral line as well. Cure, he has done it. He has broken Rogue. As this is all that's left, a handful of Banelings still morphing in. They're targeted down. And GG gets called. Cure cannot be stopped, and Cure will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Cure, he will claim the series, will advance on. Again, Rogue having a cheeky build, going 2-base muta, did go unscouted, but as we saw, once Cure realized what was going on, he did throw down turrets in time. They finished up just as the mutas were getting into the main base, and likewise, he made use of his army. He had Hellions and Banshees, and remember, he killed over 20 workers. He killed, was it 22 plus drones in the natural and in the main base. It was insane damage here that he dealt, more than what the mutas could accomplish. And remember, the economy was already stifled, was already delayed for Rogue, so losing those workers meant even more for the Zerg player, as he had a smaller economy to begin with because of those mutas. So GG, well played. That counterattack from Cure straight up ended the game. Was able to wreak havoc in the main and at the third base, and with that, GG, well played. Rogue, he tried to recover, but alas was unable to keep up, and that leads us into our semifinals. Let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed.